Fatima, how has your Friday been so far?
Alhamdulillah, it's going so fast, baby. I mean, last week we were like at the Diamond Walk, and it was exciting. You were there, and the setup, the everything, with the vibe there was absolutely amazing. But this week's Friday is a bit slower for us. We're catching up. We're packing things back into place so we can start afresh on Monday. So it has been a quick Friday.
Alhamdulillah. But I'm sure you had an enjoyable one. Seeing the content producer walk in, Mr. Ayaz, hoping that maybe he'll join us a little bit later on the show, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But since it's Friday, since it's Jummah, after having the thick lunch, the thick Jummah lunch, a lot of people say it's mandatory to have, your dal and rice on a Friday. And it says, you have to have a mandatory sleep because it's sunnah as well, after Jummah. So, since it's Friday, I think we should be focusing on rejuvenation and relaxation. I think that we don't do that enough.
Exactly.
And, when it comes to rejuvenation, Fatima, and relaxation, these are essential, for maintaining a happy and healthy life. Not only just happy and healthy, but mentally as well. It keeps us it keeps the balance. Now, of course, in today's fast-paced world, we are constantly surrounded by, the stresses that can leave us feeling drained, exhausted. Our jobs can leave us feeling drained and exhausted. And rejuvenation and relaxation allows us to step back, unwind, and replenish our mind, body, and spirit. When last, Fatima, I would say the Jane of all trades when it comes to, radio, managing the Al Ansar shop. How do you do it? How do you replenish? How do you take it, time and just relax?
So, Bibi Amina, Salah, zikr, and spending time with family. So that few hours that I spend with my family, I appreciate every moment. So the phone is kept away. Just sitting and having a wholesome meal with your family at night and catching up on what they did for the day. For me, that's like a rejuvenation. That's like bringing me back to earth and not being stuck in work and how it's going and the fast pacedness of it.
I think it's essential to have that relaxation because like I said, in this fast-paced world, there's no time to do anything. There's no barakah in time anymore. So we have to be very, we take a lot of cognizance of the things that we do and get ourselves involved in, even outside of work. Just
Absolutely.
to take a step back and say, you know what, I've been a superhero at work. Now it's time for me not to only be a superhero at home, but to calm down.
Calm down. That's the word. Calm down. It's like when you spend at home, you need to take yourself out of that situation, calm down, and appreciate every second that you spend with your daughter, with your husband, with your mother. Like me, when I go home, then I get to speak to them. Like, what did you do? What did you cook? Or what happened at school, Husna? Did this happen? Did that happen? What changed? It's very important.
Yeah, I think, in this day and age, we've lost the connection with our children. We lost, I would say, face-to-face connection with individuals, because I think what we focus on now is the social media and, creating connections online and seeing how we can, create these connections with people online, but of forgetting the people around us, how we can love them and be there for them and be as a support. And I know that he's going to kill me, but our colleague today, alhamdulillah, has, made nikah, Zahir Vasa. Congratulations to you, my brother.
Congratulations
you
to
can
him.
kill me. You can kill me later. I think now we're gonna say things and say maaf later. But honestly, we are so happy for you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in your nikah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you and as well as your, alhamdulillah, your wife now. It sounds so weird saying Zahid Vasa has a wife now, but alhamdulillah, I think we grow a lot, and seeing him grow the years that he has been on radio, he has created such a vibe for radio, alhamdulillah, and we are so proud of him.
Alhamdulillah.
And speaking about rejuvenation, and it helps us revitalize our energy, renew our focus, and of course enhance our overall well-being. You spoke about relaxation, Fatima. Relaxation enables us obviously to calm our minds, like we said, calm down, soothe our muscles. And sometimes we need a quiet space. Sometimes just sit in the room, put the lights off, and just calm down. Your case. But of course, with me and joining me here as well as my co-host for today, since it's a Friday, we all love having fun, is Sister Fatimah Kareem indeed. And now, Fatima, we're talking about rejuvenation and relaxation and taking a step back from life and just having a good laugh, I think, is essential with everything. But there's also something that people fail to mention.
Yes. With regards to motivating yourself. One of our main reasons that we are demotivated or that we are not moving forward is procrastination. Baby Amina, procrastination is a thing that we all suffer with. It's something we'll say, oh, I'm going to do it just now, and then you leave it for a couple hours, then it's gone a couple of days, then it's gone to a couple of months, and it never happens. Also, when you, for salah too, like I'm going to start with my fajr, I'm going to start with my zohar, and then you procrastinate. And there's ways and means to alleviate it. Also, when you start alleviating procrastination, you start getting rid of your anxiety, your depression, everything falls into place. So procrastination is a huge, huge part of every human being in life.
Absolutely.
So the struggle is very eternal. It's long. It's all the time. It's with you. So I'm here to say, don't worry. We are here to help. So overcoming procrastination requires a combination of understanding why you procrastinate, developing strategies to overcome it, and cultivating habits that promote productivity. So talking about productivity, understanding your procrastination is very important. The first thing you should do is identify your reason. Reflect on why you're procrastinating, like maybe fear of failure, perfectionism, lack of motivation, feeling overwhelmed, which sometimes I do. You know, when I'm at the shop and then I'm at the deli and then I do a show. So I do get overwhelmed, and then I procrastinate with certain tasks at work. So it like affects you, but in the long run, it affects you worse at the end of the week when you have to do everything at one go. So finding ways to strategize and looking after your time management is very important.
Time management is absolutely important. And I think that when it comes to procrastination, Fatima, we take it for granted. We feel, you know what, I feel the reason why people procrastinate is because they know that they don't need much time to complete that task. They know that however long it's going to be, that task is going to get done, whether they do it now, tomorrow, next year, whatever. But they know that it's going to get done. But the problem is sometimes that might be an issue because there's a time frame. Now, when you have to organize something, or when you have been doing I've seen you've been doing such fantastic work, getting the deli busy with all your events, and all you ladies from the friends group, alhamdulillah, doing fantastic work there. This time management, you have to plan ahead. You have to know who's coming, when, what, is going to be happening. And I think that I would say I'm the queen of procrastination, honestly.
No, I think everyone, it's not only you. When we look and reflect on our own selves, I'm sure that everyone that's listening onto your show will say, I did procrastinate at certain time in my life. And there's ways and means, like you can identify when you are procrastinating, then you can actually find there's a pattern also that follows. Like you'll procrastinate on certain things, and then you need to find a way of making yourself not procrastinate for those things. So you find like strategies to make it easier for you to understand certain tasks.
But I think sometimes it's so hard to even identify that you're a procrastinator because you get so used to
even that makes me procrastinate.
Just thinking about that. So sometimes it gets really, really hard for you to understand why or how you are even procrastinating, unless somebody says, hey Fatima, you take so long to do a specific task, or maybe Amina, oh my god, it's taking you forever just to write that paragraph on what you did or report back, whatever the case is. But I think
the most common excuses would be, I'm tired, or I don't have the time, things like that, just to procrastinate.
But if you manage your time well, you will have the time to do everything.
Exactly.
Now, we also need to take into consideration the mindfulness. The mindfulness obviously is a practice being present in the moment. And I think that what we take for granted, because it seemed like such a simple act, like making dhikr, as we know, Allah bi dhikrillahi tasma'inu qulub, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find peace. Dhikr is so important. To just, before you wake up, or not before you wake up, because before you wake up you're sleeping.
But
when you wake up, after you just open your eyes, just give some dhikr, alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah, all these dhikrs that we do know, it's very, very, very important. So we should take into cognizance of that.
Definitely. I've got some strategies that I could share with the listeners, to overcome procrastination. It's just the simple ones that sometimes we don't take notice of. So the first one is break tasks into smaller chunks, meaning like if it's a huge task, start from one side and you go slowly into it and understanding it and making it like bite-sized pieces. So you'll be able to handle it. So once a huge task is over, after you break it into smaller ones, it's no more like huge anymore.
Absolutely.
And then you got the second one, which is set clear goals and deadlines, specific what needs to be done and when. So you need to know exactly which you prioritize. So which one is more important to do and the less important one. So once you do the more important one, somehow the mind says, you know what, I've done the difficult part of it. Let's do the easy part. So it becomes easy. So those are things that you don't think about, but when you look at a task that's huge and you say, oh my, how am I going to manage this? How am I going to do this? The best is to compartmentalize, they call it, or you make it smaller and work slowly through it. Don't jump from one section to another section without completing the first section.
You know, sometimes when it comes to zikr, you know, Fatima, sometimes we find it, there's so many dhikrs that we can make. What should we make? How it should make? You want to do something? Let's do something now.
Okay, let's go for it.
And let me guide you into having obviously you're doing a dhikr technique, things that will help you make your dhikr, you feel fulfilled after reading it. So the first thing that you would have to do, Fatima, is to find a quiet and comfortable place and, you know, close your eyes and take deep breaths in and out. You know,
I'm trying it now.
Yeah, you live on Facebook, just saying. And, you know, you begin by repeating the phrase, Alhamdulillah. And then as you bring yourself, be with attention with your breaths, with your organs, with how you're feeling, you know, the limbs, the touch, alhamdulillah, the beautiful touch that we are able to have, the sight, you know, just the feeling of the presence. And say to yourself, as you bring this back to attention to your breaths, inhale, say alhamdulillah for the breath, alhamdulillah for breathing, alhamdulillah for life. And as you exhale, you say, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. This actually helps. And you continue repeating, obviously, this phrase several minutes, allowing yourself to settle in the rhythm, you know, and the meaning of the words. I think it's very important, Fatima, to know the meaning and the things of what we say in Arabic. It gives us more for connection. You know, when it comes to dhikr, it's not just saying La ilaha illallah, alhamdulillah, and going on with understanding what you're reciting. And I think that when you know what you're reciting, it becomes a bit more of a connection when you understand that. But as your mind wanders, and it probably will, generally, you know, bring back the face, say alhamdulillah. When you're ready, you go slowly, you open your eyes, and you just, you know, notice everything around you, your surroundings, you know, say alhamdulillah for your shelter, alhamdulillah for everything. We take we take for granted the things that we have. When we just stop and, you know, give gratitude and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, a lot of things, you know, I always say that in life you must always have this alhamdulillah mentality. A lot of things will look positively, even though sometimes you might not have money. You might not have whatever you wish for, but the moment you say, you know, alhamdulillah, shukr, you'll have this positivity outlook. You know, hey, you know, I don't have money, but I have this.
Absolutely.
Hey, I don't have this, but I have that. And that's how I think you'll be a successful individual. But also remember, like, the goal of dhikr isn't to achieve a specific, you know, number or whatever, but it's to cultivate awareness, gratitude, and connection. So start a few days after Maghrib, after Fajr, you know, take the time. Maybe in your office, things are so overwhelming. Just close your eyes and make dhikr. And inshallah, you will become, you know, I would say your anxiety will drop and things will be so much better.
Inshallah, Ameen.
Ameen. Today, are you going to try that? She's indeed going to try. Of course, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Peter Maritzburg. Do not go anywhere, as we are going to be chatting to the ladies of the Cancer Support Group right here for your listening pleasure.